Okay, the Royal Rumble 2020. Guys, I'm being honest here. I didn't care about this Royal Rumble. I didn't think it was going to be great. I didn't really care. I cared more about NWA Hard Times than I cared about this show. I'm being honest. You want the truth? Before I give my review, was this a good show? It was average. And I'm sure people will say, well, you're being biased because you don't watch it much anymore. Well, I have seen some of Raw and I have seen a little bit of SmackDown. I haven't seen NXT. And I'm not going to lie. The WWE has turned me off because the product has been so bad. I'm sorry, the product hasn't improved much at all. I've heard that it has gotten a little bit better on Raw, but it's still a piece of garbage on SmackDown. Do you actually think I'm going to care about a product that's just a little bit better on one show, but still crap on another? And now I'm hearing what they want to do on NXT by getting rid of the right of having a woman's and a man's title being recognized as a woman and man title. Becky Lynch saying we should have both titles just known as the World Championship. Are you serious? Do you see what I said about NXT, that eventually it was going to change? If you guys haven't figured it out, the WWE is stupid. But this show was average. Except for some light spots that was damn good, this was an average show. Kickoff, I didn't watch it. But I did hear that Alberto Carrillo and Andrade Cien, they're not calling him Andrade, was going to have a match. I don't know if there was another match, but my guess is Andrade Cien won. I do not think they're going to let him drop that title so soon. I don't. I just don't see him dropping it. If he's going to drop it to Alberto Carrillo, why would it be on the kickoff show? It should be on the main card. And after the match they had, and I did see the match between him and Ray, I just don't see him dropping it. First match of the night, Falls Count Anywhere match between Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns. With, at the end, Dolph Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, and the wonderful Usos, the Bloodline. Did these guys try to bust their ass in the match? Yes, they did. Did I care? No. It's not. I'll give you disrespect. They could kill themselves in this match, which they did to a certain extent. But if the story sucks going into it, you think the match is going to compensate for it every time? No. No matter how good the match is, it doesn't compensate for the story. Story sucks. The story sucks. I'm sorry. I don't hate Baron Corbin as a performer. I don't hate Roman Reigns as a performer. I just hate the story they're doing and the way they're being booked. Both of them are busting their butts in the ring. They're trying their best to get either pops or heat. So I'm giving them that. But as it stands, the story sucks and the match did not compensate for it, for me personally. In the end, Roman wins. And he's supposed to go into the Royal Rumble, which he did. But honestly, if I have to evaluate the match for what it was a good match as a Falls Count Anywhere. It wasn't great, but it was good. Seeing Roman wins didn't really bother me none. It could have been Baron Corbin. It could have been Roman Reigns. It didn't make a difference. The Women's Royal Rumble. Oh my gosh. If you leave out the ending of the match, this was a good Royal Rumble match. Wasn't great. It was also good. Bianca Belair did an amazing job as number 2. And I gotta say this about Alexa Bliss. I'm not having a problem with her ring work. I don't have a problem with her talking. She talks well. She has some decent work in the ring. She's not great. She got a great set of boobs now that they've been improved. She's a good-looking woman. But Vince likes her way too much. It is obvious. For her to start out in the beginning, when you could have used other women to do that, obviously Vince really likes her. It is not the point if she's the best they got. Vince just likes her because he likes her. Either because of her personality, because of her nice fake tits, either because the way she talks, or her semi-good ring work. He let her be first. That's a position you don't just give to anybody. And that's where she was stuck. Was the match great? It was good. Bianca Belair did an amazing job. I loved how Bianca worked this match. The second person that made the match really mean something to me, well, I forgot Molly Holly, which was Mighty Molly last year when she was in that Royal Rumble. In this situation, she came out as number 3. Mighty Molly. I don't know if I got a picture of her. If I do, I'll stick her in my face. I've always liked Molly Holly. I always thought she was an amazing worker. She wasn't the greatest worker in the ring, but she always compensated outside the ring. That was just for me personally. Anybody else will probably say she was more better in the ring than she spoke because she wasn't great in promos. I just liked her. I just thought she was good. She got eliminated pretty quickly. The first 2 eliminated was Lana and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan eliminated Lana and Lana eliminated Liv Morgan. This story still continues. Do I find both of them attractive? Yes, I do. Would I be happy if either one of them wanted to be with me? Hell yeah, I would. Probably Liv Morgan because she seems to be the really weird one where Lana in real life seems to be a bit insecure. As someone who has problems with anxiety and depression, I need someone that I know that might be a little quirky, but someone I know is there. That's just me. But do I care about this story that I've seen? No. It's just no. No. Seeing Mia Yim was good. Seeing Tamina came out as 14. And she lasted 1 freaking minute. Look, guys. I'm going to make this very clear to you. There's only 2 women on that roster that has been there the freaking longest. That is Natalya and Tamina. Natalya has been given opportunity beyond opportunity beyond opportunity. Women who can't wrestle at all, less than Natalya, has been given the option to become a champion. Women who are worse than Tamina have been given opportunity to become champion and gotten the fucking title. Kelly was in this match. And I'm making it very clear. Yes, she was a damn good looking woman that could talk well outside the ring, but she couldn't wrestle for shit. And she was given the opportunity to get a freaking title. And Tamina has not. And she was thrown out within 1 minute. I'm saying it right now. Take away from her dad doing what he did, or possibly what he did. This woman is being slighted, and she should have already won a title once. I'm not saying multiple title runs. She should have gotten 1 title before her retirement. This is bullshit. I'm calling it now. This is stupid. You can say I'm crazy for wanting Tamina, a mediocre wrestler, to get a title that she doesn't deserve. Hear my words. This woman deserves better than to be treated like shit. She can be a jobber. There's no problem with it. But as one of the longest running women there, deserves better. And should have already gotten at least 1 title reign out of respect for her because she's been there long enough putting other people over, even if she doesn't do it that well. She deserves better. Okay? Okay. The one I felt that looked really good was Toni Storm. She looked great. That woman is one hell of a worker. I could see. And it's not because she got thick ass legs. She must be very strong in squats. But she's a damn good wrestler. I enjoyed that situation. Now, here's the thing that gave the biggest pop of the night. And you could be, well, there were 2 pops. 2 biggest pops there. Beth Phoenix coming out, which I did enjoy seeing Beth. And Naomi finally returning with a big ass fro. And understand this. Next to Beth, Naomi had the biggest freaking pop this show had for the women. Period. Beth is not a constant competitor. Unless she's going to start doing it now, it's Naomi who's come back and has the biggest pop of the entire situation. She had the biggest pop. When she went up against Charlotte, it was great. When she did that slide right into Charlotte's leg, it was great. She had the biggest pop and even did her regular stunt. As you can see, whatever few shots I got. And she got thrown out by Beth and thrown out by Natalya very quickly. Well, not very quickly. It was near the end of the match. Every other woman that was from NXT looked okay. Mia Yim, who's my girl, Jade. I always loved me Mia Yim. She looked okay. Shayna Baszler coming out looking like a freaking beast. Was the best person there to win. Look, I wrote the best people to win the match was either Beth Phoenix, Shayna Baszler, Toni. Well, I didn't think of Toni Storm at the time. Toni Storm would have probably been the best person because she is challenging for the NXT title as well as the UK title. My guess is they may try to combine the two eventually. That's my guess. If NXT UK doesn't get phased out, if it does, they're going to combine the titles. But I'm saying it like this. There are 4 women that could have won that title. There was Beth Phoenix, Shayna Baszler, Toni Storm, or Naomi, who got legitimately the biggest pops as a woman back on the main roster. Who did they give it to? Charlotte. Charlotte was the worst decision made. And her having that, and I know that Charlotte fans are going to say, oh, you just jelly. You're just salty. Dude, if she wins at WrestleMania, this will be her 11th title reign. What does she gain having 11 reigns? What did the division has gained? No matter which show, SmackDown or Raw, what did they gain? Who has she put over to help maintain the division? 0 people has she put over because she's only worked with people she knows. This match was the first time in 4 years, at least 4 years, since Naomi has been in the same ring with Charlotte. If anybody's seen them other than main event, which they have not been on main event, Charlotte would never go on main event. Naomi is probably going to main event. She's probably going to Superstars. But when was the last time you saw Naomi ever deal with Charlotte? She has not. In 4 freaking years. 4. It has been a long time since those two ever interacted. This is the first time in years. This is bullshit. That Charlotte won this. They should have never pulled the trigger on this. This was dumb. The crowd was not happy. And her doing that stupid speech saying simply, I don't care if you like me or not, I proved that this is my ring. Really? You just screwed up the entire division. You have not put over any woman that has not been pushed at WWE. She has not helped Lacey Evans. She didn't help Carmella. She has not helped Naomi. She has not helped not one woman. She didn't help Asuka. She has not helped Kairi Sane. She has not legitimately helped anyone. She has not helped Ember Moon. She's helped no one. And she's only worked with women that she dealt with in NXT that she feels comfortable with. Which has been Bayley, Becky, Sasha. And the only reason anything was really good with Asuka is because Asuka has been around longer and can perform better than her. So if anyone thinks that this is a good decision with Charlotte, forgive my language, guys, you can kiss my black ass. Because this was dumb. This was dumb. Now, let's move on to another women's match that followed this, which made no freaking sense. To have another women's match follow this. They could have given us another match. They could have given us the Andrade Cien Almost match with Alberto Carrillo for the U.S. title. And that is Bayley versus Lacey Evans. This match I didn't give a damn about. Using Lacey Evans' actual daughter in this situation would make a good story if Lacey Evans didn't feel cringy. Flat out cringy. Because I saw what she talked about with Michael Cole. That was cringe. She felt cringy, particularly that she didn't even feel like she was crying. She felt such like a bad actress. I could not bear it. So when I saw this match, zero interest. I didn't care if she won or not. They let Bayley keep the title. I don't care. They've done almost nothing with Bayley. Where was Sasha? Now, I don't know if she got injured or if she wasn't booked. She wasn't obviously booked in the Royal Rumble. So I don't know where Sasha was. I didn't hear them say, well, Sasha has been barred from ringside. So what happened to Sasha? Now, in real life, she could actually be injured, or she might have some problems, or they just left her off the show. You guys could tell me below. But Sasha should have been there. It would have made more interest if Sasha Banks had been there. So let's move on to the other match, which was way better. That was, as a singles match, the best match of the night. And that was Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt in a strap match. We haven't had one in 10 years. It was a good match. Damn good match. I didn't expect Daniel Bryan to win. Because if they are still doing this rise with Bray Wyatt, going through everyone he's ever gone through, this makes sense for him to win. Seeing Daniel Bryan take a damn good beating with that strap, I think I got a couple of shots. I don't know. If I do, I'll either put it in my face or put it down below. But he got his ass whooped. And Bray Wyatt, for his credit, took the beatings. But there was one thing I was thinking about. If they were going to let Daniel Bryan win, there was only one way he could have won. Only one way. And that was for him to remove Bray Wyatt's mask and let him go from The Fiend back to Bray. If they were going to have Daniel Bryan win, he had to rip the mask off, which I didn't think they were going to do, which was the wisest thing to do. If you want to make sure Bray stays strong, he keeps that mask on because that's where he gets his power from now. That Fiend mask is his power, at least by my perspective. Bray wins. I don't know who's going up against next. There's not many people you can deal with on SmackDown Live. SmackDown. And going into, what? WrestleMania, they better find somebody interesting. Unless they're going to do Daniel Bryan over again. I don't know, you guys tell me below. Seeing the Street Profits, I didn't care. But it was funny seeing the Street Profits do a beatbox. I did enjoy that part. The beatbox was good. But other than that, I didn't really care. Since really, they don't really do much. Now, okay, the next match is Becky versus Asuka for the Raw Women's title. You know, this was a good match. It was not a bad one. It was actually quite good. But here's the thing, guys. This story sucks. This story sucks. And I know many people would say, forget about the story. Just look at the match. Guys, we've had Asuka get treated like dirt for how many years now? They've done absolutely nothing. She got screwed over at WrestleMania with Charlotte. And many people say, well, that was a great match. No, she shouldn't have lost. Then she's done absolutely nothing on SmackDown. Yeah, she won a title, but didn't really mean anything. And it got dropped very quickly. And since then, she's done nothing until she got the tag titles with Kairi Sane. And even then, they've done nothing with her. She was teamed up with Kairi Sane and Paige, and they did nothing with her. And only recently they did something with her because there's absolutely no one for Becky to work with. Because they built no one. Before Ember Moon got hurt, they could have done something with her. When it comes to Liv Morgan, they could have done something with her. Sarah Logan, yes, I know Sarah's not the greatest person, but they could have done something with her. They could have done something better with Nikki Cross other than teaming her up with Alexa Bliss. Nothing. They have a lot of women on that roster they've done nothing with. And now, in the last couple of weeks, nearly maybe a month, maybe 2-3 weeks, with Asuka having a winning streak, does that mean I'm going to care? No. It's nothing. And then we get this match. A good match. Where I should care. But then the one that should have won didn't. Because Asuka should have won. If you're building up something really good for Becky Lynch, she should have lost this match. Should have lost the title. And then have to struggle to maintain being the man. Because as the man now, she's useless. because she's gone through what little of the roster they have, and now she has nothing to do. If she had lost the match, it would have been better for her, because at least then she could have still kept the man moniker, but still have someone to challenge her. She lost the title. She has to go through whatever the roster she has left to prove that she is the man. She needs to go through all the women again. And she's not going to, because guess what? She's the man. She beat Asuka, who's only been built for maybe 2 or 3 weeks to be dominant. I don't care. The match was really good, but it meant nothing. Now, the Royal Rumble. We have one hell of a talk here, which is going to take a bit. I'm going to give you the names of the first 16 people who were in the Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar, Elias. Eric Rowan, Bobby Roode. John Morrison, Kofi Kingston, Rey Mysterio, Big E, Cesaro, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, MVP, Keith Lee, had to say it like that, Keith Lee, Ricochet, he's 15, Braun Strowman 14, and Drew McIntyre was 16, and that's when Brock Lesnar was removed from the match. Brock Lesnar took out Elias within a few seconds after chasing him down when Elias pissed him off by doing his serenade to him. He took out Eric Rowan in less than a minute. 8 seconds he took him out. Took out Bobby Roode quickly. He flipped. It's in my face. I believe I caught it. The first 2 shots. He flipped John Morrison out of the top, over the top turnbuckle. No, not top turnbuckle, top rope. And if it wasn't for the fact he was a parkour guy, he probably would have broke his freaking neck. That was some crazy shit. Kofi is one of the few people who was allowed to stay in the match. And I was alright with that. Ray comes in. Big E comes in. They all try to take him out. Does not work. Kofi stays in it for a while longer after Ray was taken out and Big E was taken out. Eventually Kofi came out, and then Cesaro goes. Doesn't stand a chance. Gets kicked, gets thrown out. Shelton Benjamin was the most stupidest thing there. Just because Shelton Benjamin is an actual friend of Brock Lesnar, they try to make it like Shelton Benjamin's going to be on his side. Everything's going to be great. Shelton hugging Brock. It's all wonderful. And then Shelton gets his ass thrown out, and it makes him look like an absolute moron. And you guys tell me below, which show is he on? Is he on SmackDown? Is he on Raw? I don't even know what show Shelton Benjamin on. The gold standard. This thing that pisses me off. Shelton Benjamin is such a great performer. And they've done nothing with him since he came back. Except this. Where he gets thrown out by Brock, who is legitimately his real friend in real life. It pisses me off to see wasted talent. Then you got Shinsuke Nakamura taken out. And then MVP, the Claymaker, Montel Voltadius Polda. Seeing him come into the ring looking like, I don't know what possessed him to do Black Panther, but it was nice. And he didn't last more than a minute. Strowman gets thrown out. Ricochet gets, well, this is where it gets interesting. Ricochet does not get thrown out. Drew McIntyre comes in. Ricochet kicks him in the gonads. And you see it in my face. I'm sure I got that shot. If I don't, well, I don't got it. But he kicked him in the nuts. And Drew threw him out of the ring. And then Drew was burning a hole through Brock Lesnar. Which made me think, that would be an interesting situation with Brock and Drew. Then Drew threw out Ricochet. And throughout the night, it was just elimination after elimination. It was great to see Keith Lee dealing with Brock Lesnar. That's in my face. I know I got one shot. I wish it had lasted longer. I want it to last longer. But it only lasts a certain amount of time. The greatest thing that showed up was Edge. I Of course, we know Edge was coming back. But knowing he finally did show up made the biggest male pop. Other than Naomi. Understand, there were only 3 major pops. Naomi, Beth Phoenix, and Edge. That was the biggest pop. Now, I know you could say, what about Santino Marella? And he was in the Women's Royal Rumble match. And it made Naomi and Beth Phoenix angry. But that was just Santino Marella. A joke. This was legitimate joy from the crowd seeing a Beth and Naomi, who's the main roster girl, and Edge. That was the second biggest pop. Next to Naomi. The rest of the show, I'll give it to you like this. At the end, seeing Edge, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, who I wasn't surprised seeing him at the end, and Drew McIntyre, who I was surprised to see at the end, was okay. I expected Roman to win this. It was obvious you were going to think, well, Roman's going to win this. It's obvious it's going to be Roman Reigns. The ones that I wanted to win was Edge. I really wanted to see Keith Lee at the end, but Edge, I really wanted to see win the entire thing. That I really thought would have been a nice change. If he was coming back to the main roster, I don't know. It counts if he's coming in part-time or if this is a one-time thing. We still don't know yet. But seeing Edge come back would have been great to win the Royal Rumble. I did want Drew, but I always figured there's no way they're going to go there. They still haven't done nothing with him. And then I expected either Seth or Roman Reigns to win. I didn't think Randy Orton was going to win again. Didn't think that. And then when you see Buddy Murphy along with the Authors of Pain come out trying to save a Seth Rollins, and then when they got rid of them, and then it came down to these guys, and then seeing Seth get thrown out, I said, well, they're coming down to Roman Reigns. It's going to be Roman Reigns at the end, obviously. But then when Roman Reigns was eliminated, I'm going like, well, let me back up. Randy Orton was eliminated by Edge because he couldn't trust him. Then it was those 3. Edge got eventually eliminated by Roman. And then Drew eliminated Edge. No, Drew eliminated Edge. And then Roman got eliminated by Drew. The Sinister Scotsman won. What? Finally, the WWE made the proper choice. And letting Drew McIntyre, the Sinister Scotsman, headline WrestleMania. They needed new blood, and now they got it. They needed someone different, and now they got it. Now the question's going to be, can they book it? Because this is where the question's going to come in, guys. Drew McIntyre is completely new, fresh in the main scene. I doubt he's going after Bray Wyatt's title. I just don't see him doing it. So it's obviously going for Brock Lesnar. But can they book this right to make Drew McIntyre, a guy who's only held the IC title, mean something? Yes, he's also held the NXT World Heavyweight Championship, but they're only going to go by him and what he did before he left, was fired and came back. So this is it. They need to be able to write this properly. 13 years in the making, kind of like what happened with Kofi Kingston. 11 years in the making. This is now 13 years in the making. This is going to be very interesting. What are they going to do with Drew? Was this a good show? It was average, guys. Average. With only 2 matches. 2. Not 1. 2. Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan's strap match was the best. Flat out. It was. And this Royal Rumble for the men, only because Edge was in it and Drew McIntyre won. Admittedly, it was interesting to see Brock Lesnar go through 13 guys. and leave the suspense and pissing off the crowd. But that's it. This was an average show for me personally. I'm sure you guys are going to say it's the best that you've ever seen. Or you'll agree with me that this was an average show that had a few good moments and one really great match in a Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.